Rackless. Right. Let's get some tyres. Well, if you're anywhere near the southwest and you're not getting your motorbikes, especially if it's a BMW worked on by Fred at Boxer Works, what the fuck are you doing? There is nowhere else. So here we are at Fred's to get some new tyres on and have a little look around the bike. The first thing I can spot is my chain is absolutely minging, despite cleaning it, obviously not cleaning it well enough. Fred, before we get onto the tyres, what should I do about my chain? Apart from look after them better.
Yeah, I mean, they are hard. You do see a lot of the chains now, especially from manufacture. They just get that surface rust and corrosion and they look crap in next to no time. So ideally change it out for, I like gold personally. Yep. Good brand, DID, Rental, RK, something like that. And they seem to last properly. You obviously do pay the price for getting them, but you are buying quality, so.
Could you please order me one?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Right, as we said, we're going on to tyres here. So I've got an 80/20 Bridgestone, and we're going to go to the Karoo 4s. As a man as proficient off-road as you, this will be the first time I've ridden on a 50/50 with more knobbly bits. What should I pay attention to, and what should I expect out of the tyre?
I mean, this pretty surprising. I've run Karoos on my GS before, well, several times, and at the BMW off-road school is what they use. And when it's dry, you can ride them as if it's a normal street tyre. You do notice a few small things at higher speeds, which basically by higher speeds you're illegal on the road anyway. They do start to move around a bit more. They're louder. You get a bit more feedback and vibration through them. But other than that, certainly in the dry, you'd be hard pushed once you get used to them to think that you don't have as much grip as a normal tyre. But in the wet it is slightly different. They do break away a bit easier, so it's just a case of being a bit more cautious on the throttle or going to rain mode.
And how about dropping into a corner, that sort of stuff? Do they fall in or roll in?
No, they are, because they're very sort of square tyres, flat across the top from new. It is, you will notice you almost have to pull the bike in, and you know, you've got that tipping point and then it'll fall onto the outer radius of the tyre. So that's one of the things that takes a lot of getting used to, actually.
And the other job we're not going to do today, but you have talked about, is removing this, what the hell is it called again?
The carbon canister?
The carbon canister, that's it. So that's just a case of running an extra long pipe away from the tank, which when I changed the filter the other day, I saw the pipe, and just running a long one that doesn't stop there, basically, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's just a new thing for the latest Euro emissions. None of the older bikes had it. They just have a vent pipe straight to atmosphere running to the bottom of the bike.
Awesome. Right, well, I'll let you crack on. So one question I just asked Fred, and it was something that my old man said to me, actually, with this trip that I've got coming up, and there's going to be a lot of schlepping on motorway at 70 mile an hour, etc. Is it worth changing that rear sprocket for a different tooth?
Yeah, obviously it's all dependent on what you're after. If you were to go smaller, drop a couple of teeth, the revs would come down at higher speeds, but obviously you lose that acceleration and sort of bottom end feel. You'll be on the clutch a bit more. So, you know, if you were on some real tight mountain passes, it may be that instead of being able to use second, you're now having to be in first and a bit higher in the revs. So
if it was you, would you change it or not so much?
Not necessarily, but I think it is obviously very dependent on what you're wanting to use the bike for, isn't it? So for what you're doing, I probably wouldn't bother, because I don't like mix matching chains and sprockets. So, you know, if you dropped sprocket sizes for the trip, came back, then wanted to put a new standard size back on, you've stretched the chain, but the sprocket is brand new.
Yeah.
So the pitch has altered slightly, which isn't ideal. You then get premature wear and all that sort of thing. So me personally, I'd probably just leave it as standard. But
No, thank you. Right, Karoo 4s. And the first thing I noticed is exactly what Fred said. It's square and then it's really stable and then drops in. I kind of like it. It's quite peculiar. And on the front, I like that. That's so interesting. I feel like I've got a much better sense of where I am on the tyre. Well, 60 quid for fitting, not too bad. So there we have it. Luggage ordered, tyres on. You get some risers today as well. But other than the wrap, I think the bike is almost done. Anyway, if you could hit subscribe, that'd be awesome. Cheers.